talk about the session and what they're going to do and so on. So let me hand you over to the Spa Sisters, Carly Chamberlain and Julie Wren, unleashing your team champions.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So if you haven't watched one of our podcasts before, welcome. This is the first, or actually second live podcast chat that we've done. If you've already seen us on our YouTube channel, thank you for watching, and you may have seen us interview some amazing spa industry professionals, some of whom are sitting in this room today. I can see your beautiful faces who have contributed to our podcast with their wisdom and knowledge. So we are the Spa Sisters. We are here to engage, disrupt and transform the therapist experience. You'll have a little card on the table in front of you there. And if you want to learn more about what we do, there's a QR code that you can scan. And predominantly, we are here to really show people how we can transform people's lives through the power of mind management, self-talk, which always leads to self-worth and self-love. That's the bigger thing. And now we get into the nitty-gritty. So over to you, Jules.
Thank you so much. So we're really happy to be here today, and I want to thank Killian and Andrew and the team for having us here. I've had the absolute pleasure this year to work more in Ireland, and I have to say I've learned a lot from the spa managers and therapists that I've been in contact with. And I think as well, you know, Carly, it's great for you because you're also half Irish.
Very proud.
Yeah. And so who are we? Well, you know, as you can see, we're Carly Chamberlain and Julie Wren. And I think if we count up between us, we have, was it going on 35 years of professional experience as therapists, spa therapists, as wellness consultants. Carly's a writer. So, you know, our passion is wellness, and also how did we come to be together? How did this get born? And this is one of those stories that comes from COVID, where we found each other online.
We did.
And we realised
that...
the best time. We realised that through our work as independent spa educators, we had this feeling that we wanted to do something for the therapists. We really wanted to give them a voice. We wanted them to be heard. And we wanted to be able to talk about things that really matter to their well-being, because obviously, you know, they're there, your spa managers, you know this, perhaps some of you have been therapists as well, so it's tough out there to be doing everything every day, and we really wanted to say, well, what is it you'd like to get spoken about? So that's really how this was born, and yeah, we decided to join forces and start this as a passion project that grew and grew and grew. And we just found that people wanted to talk to us.
Yeah.
So it was great to have themes and to bring things to the forefront that we could talk about it. So who do we want to give a voice to? So we wanted to give a voice, as I say, to the therapists, to the spa managers as well, to people from the outside looking in, and like even from governing bodies, to see what we could have, what kind of discussions could we be having about therapist welfare. And that's why today we have our two wonderful guests with us, and we're going to be talking today about our champions in the spa and the sort of the talent that's hiding in plain sight. So if you could give us a warm welcome to our guests, Lisa Devlin and Tanisha Mongan, I always get that wrong, from Dunboyne Castle Sp. And yeah, they're going to help us today. We're going to start delving into some topics with them. So let's just take this first quote. So if we have a read of that, Lisa, when do you possibly think that could be written? 1, 2, 3, 5 years ago? And do you feel that it's relevant to here in Ireland?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, high quality therapists, it's very hard to find them, to retain them. And I think that, you know, we need to really look after them and give them their voice.
Yeah, okay. And do you think also there's something else that could be going beyond the idea of pay?
What is it, sorry?
There's something else to consider here, apart from just that pay packages.
Right. Well, we all know I'm a I'm a therapist, so, you know, the pay isn't great, and I obviously wanted to progress into management, but I think it's something that Tanisha and I have fought for in Dunboyne, is to get to look at the pay scale. They're skilled workers. They do 2 years in college, and they deserve it. The jobs are hard, you know, and it's difficult days
Yeah.
in the treatment rooms. I'm sure a lot of you are aware. So it's just to make sure that we, you know, do everything that we can for
Great.
that.
I have to have a confession here. That's actually was written in 2014, and I took it from Spa Business. And would you say that that's still relevant today as a statement?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And just moving on from there, because like I say, I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I keep all my spa businesses and spa business handbook, because I do find that sometimes when we want to look forward, sometimes looking back can be quite helpful. And so I found a few more that I would like your thoughts on. So what do you think about this one? How does that land with you?
Yeah, I think that we definitely need spa managers. I think a good spa manager usually is a therapist. Maybe I'm being biased, but I do think that, yeah, it's good to have kind of a background in hospitality as well, you know.
And I guess understanding where they're coming from, and because you can relate, you
Of
have that
course.
empathy and compassion.
Yeah.
That's an
It's
interesting
the
one.
empathy, I think.
I mean, and is empowerment something that you actively practice, or do you rely perhaps on your product house to sort of bring the innovation in and help you with bespoke
Yeah.
treatments?
So we created our treatment menu. Obviously, we have our beautiful brands, Ground and Comfort Zone. However, we've allowed our therapists to create their own ritual. It's called the Crystal Ritual. It's one of our top sellers. So, and they absolutely love doing the treatment, and it empowers them, you know, to continue. And we're looking into, obviously, in the new year, hopefully to bring on sound healing in our menus, things like that. So they're all like,
Yeah,
they've huge passion for it.
great, lovely, thank you. And this last statement here, I mean, how are you doing on emotional intelligence with your teams? I mean, could your teams use training on this subject? I mean, what kind of activities are you offering them as well in this
Yes.
sphere?
So I think we always try and do a brief in the mornings to, you know, find out how their days or their previous day was, if there's anything that we can do to help maybe their day to day. And we also have, I think it was a really good idea, we have a suggestion box, because some people don't feel confident asking their managers, so they have a little suggestion box that we
So it's
offer.
anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we just recently as well, we did Wellness Week for all our therapists. So HR helps us make sure that there's always activities just to
Brilliant.
keep an eye on them, make sure they're okay. But I suppose it does come back to the catch-ups as well with them.
So yeah, I went back into my archive again on this one, and so that's 10 years on from that original statement, and you know I have to always say that, you know, if we're still facing these problems today, is it something that we're always going to be facing, or is there actually something we could be doing differently? Because we really hope that we're not going to have the same situation in 10 years' time. And I think this is where, Carly, that you wanted to take over here and sort of share our thoughts on it, because we like to be a bit disruptive, don't we?
We do. No, I think one of our biggest things that we do is ask the questions why. Being in more of a neutral position, I guess, we can have that outer perspective and ask those questions. And one thing that really popped up for me is that we've moved into this world of spa and wellness. They come together. Okay, so it used to just be spa, and now it's spa and wellness. Wellness is a buzzword that's now, in my opinion, a little bit overused, but that's me being a cynical person, because, you know, wellness is the area that I was trained in, so spa came secondary for me. So my big question is, how do now wellness professionals adapt in the spa environment, the spa business environment, the commercial environment, versus the flip side of that, which is how can we upskill our spa teams and our spa therapists to be more equipped and to deliver wellness practices. Because really, if we're promoting spa and wellness, we need to be doing it authentically and not just sort of putting a stamp on things and doing a bit of yoga on the side, right? We need to sort of go deeper with this. So is there a debate here? What do you think?
Yeah, I guess I totally agree. There is wellness maybe is overused. However, we definitely need to make sure that we're bringing it into the spa going forward. And I think with brands now, they really help with their education. And obviously with our treatment menus as well, I think that there's a lot that can be done, you know.
And Tanisha, a question for you. What skills do you think, can you pinpoint any specific skills that you think therapists need, or, are your companies supporting their development in growing their skills to be able to deliver these additional experiences beyond the standard spa treatment?
So we were chatting about this earlier on, and we were saying that for us, like, it's probably communication is a big thing, like that they're able to come to us and say, that's not working for me. I don't enjoy that. I love doing this. Can I do more of this? And like that, we do that all the time. Everyone doesn't like everything. Some people are holistic and some people aren't. So I think you need to just be constantly checking your team, making sure that it is working for them.
Yeah.
And if there's something that's not working for them, coming back to them with a solution then and working with them until it starts to happen.
You just sparked something there when you said some therapists aren't very holistic, and I guess wellness comes under that holistic umbrella. But I think now we're moving into technology wellness. There's probably a better term than that, but that could be something that your non-holistic therapists might want to get their hands on, the technology side of things.
Yeah, like the likes of the LED machines and everything. They're passionate about that because maybe they come from medi spas and skincare, but it can all kind of join as one, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. So we have a quote, and it's, therapists are realizing that they are worthy of more and capable of achieving more. Help them discover and develop what they love doing and are passionate about. Build on their vision. And this was from Louise Searles, who's the founder of the Industry Support Network in the UK. So how do you help your therapists develop their love for the profession then? So communication you've mentioned, and then what? So, how do we put that into action?
So a couple of our girls, if we're paying attention to what they're liking best, like we'd be recommending to them, why don't you go back and do reflexology every Friday for the year? There's something that you're really interested in. Or there's this new course now the therapists can do. It's yoga and Pilates and alternative therapies. It's like that's something that some of our skin therapists have gone back to do. So I suppose just being there as a kind of a coach and a guide to tell them that they do have different options. It's not just what we do in the spa either. They can branch out and learn a bit more. So.
Yeah. So there's an authentic leadership element there. You genuinely want your teams to grow and learn outside and inside your business. But recently, Julie and I have had some really interesting feedback because, sometimes when we're teaching, our big focus is, is our communication clear enough? Do they understand what we're saying? Comprehension of what we're teaching is a big thing. And one thing that was highlighted to us was that some of our current therapists seemed to not want to embrace learning. So we're going completely the opposite scale now. We have come out of this sort of age of, well, we're very much still in it, but social media and tech and phones seems to be the younger generation's safety blanket. And when they go in their little alternative world, they're safe and they're protected and they don't need to express themselves and they feel comfortable there. So what we're seeing is quite a increase in, I think it could link to addiction as well. They may be sitting in a training with us or have had similar experiences, and they may want to be there and learn, but they're getting pulled in this different direction. I feel like their brain chemistry almost just isn't able to sit and concentrate and listen and learn, because they're kind of like getting directed
Distracted.
towards their phones, right? I mean, you've had therapists on their phones in the middle of one of your sessions, and it doesn't click that that's wrong or that shouldn't be the case. So I think we're seeing the other side of this is that therapists, how do you deal with therapists that don't feel like that engaged, or they don't want to learn, they just want to go do their job, do it kind of okay-ish, and then come back and carry on with their social media life?
Well, I suppose it's up to us then to try and inspire them, and we are lucky Comfort Zone and Ground now have like online academies.
Yeah.
So some people, I suppose it goes down to as well, how do people learn? Like some people learn like this, some people want to learn by themselves, and that's fine. If they go home and they study that content and they just need to do practical with us or something, that's fine. But we need to just make sure that we're motivating them to be interested in what they're doing, and
Absolutely.
no matter how we do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I get that. I think maybe it is a generational thing. Like digital learning is another asset, isn't it?
I think as educators, we have to meet them where they are and try as many different techniques as possible.
Yeah.
So, we've got some more topics that we want to explore with you around this, how to attract and retain talent. Involving the therapist in your business, showing you care, and training as a long-term strategy. But we're going to start, obviously, with a quote from somebody we all know, who was a hostess last year down at FOTA. We need to show the therapist there is a progression and development path. There are many different job opportunities within the spa industry. So, Carly, over to you. Do you want to ask the question to our guests?
I'd quite like to know a bit about your journeys to this point, Lisa and Tanisha. First, who's going to go first?
Okay, so yeah, I worked in hospitality in my early teens, and I think that's where I did gain my love for customer service, customer care, and then I always was passionate about beauty and wellness. We didn't use that back then, though. But yeah, and then I worked in the sleeved honoured spa for 5 or 6 years, and then worked in cruise ships.
So you're a hardcore one of those.
I am, yeah. So, yeah, and then when I came home, I wanted to go into management, and then I did a management program, and I then did a marketing course in college. And now I'm in Dunboyne 2 years.
And do you feel like that was all self-driven, or did you have mentors and leaders that inspired you?
I think very self-driven. I've always wanted to, be like ahead and know what I'm doing, But I have been really blessed to meet amazing mentors along the way that have made me do the management program. It wasn't something like I wanted to do, like I thought I would do.
Yeah.
And now I absolutely love it.
Okay. And what about you, Tanisha? Tell us about your background.
I was always kind of in customer-facing roles as well, all through my teens. And then, I don't know why, I think I just found the holistic health course was going to be really interesting. I didn't know at the time exactly what that meant, but it was massage, reflexology, all that kind of thing. Then I realised I wanted to do my beauty 1 and 2 as well. And after that, then I just went to work in the Buff Day Spa in Dublin, and they kind of trained me from the ground up. And my boss at the time, she kind of thought that management might be something I should do, so she got Heidi Grimwood to do management course with us in the spa, so that was really good.
Great.
And from there then up as far as assistant manager, trainee manager, and then I needed a change and I wanted to see what it was like in a hotel spa, so I joined Dunboyne last year.
Amazing. And I think just chatting to you and listening to your stories, this is very much what we're about, Jules, is that whoever's listening to this in this room or outside of this room, we want young people to know that they're safe and supported in our industry. And I think we've all lost the plot a little bit. Like, this world is going crazy, but there are good people out there in our industry that want to support and help grow and develop our next generation teams.
Yeah.
However that might look.
So, show you care. So, Tanisha, how do you think that therapists want to be shown that they're cared for within that? So what's their spa journey?
For me, I suppose, when I was a therapist, the most important thing was to be heard and to be listened to. So if I went to my manager, not Lisa, my old manager, with a question or an issue, I really liked because she'd always listen to it, and then she might come back to me it could be 2 weeks later, and she'd say, look, I was thinking about what you said, this is what we'll do, or this is how we can help you. And I suppose just to know that their voice is heard, and that any issues that they're having, that like we do care. Like me and Lisa were saying, they're having an issue with the hydrating mud wrap at the minute. We were going around yesterday saying, does anybody have any mud that doesn't flake all over the floor? And that's the one thing, like that's what they care about, you know, is that we can do that for them. And if it's only something small like that and it makes all them happy, then
Exactly.
you're going to do it. Anything for happiness.
Yeah. Before you move on, can I just can we just acknowledge and appreciate that is Julie?
That
in
cost me a lot.
With
That
her
cost
team.
me a lot of energy
I mean,
to get my leg that high.
They're meant to be
With all those young
training.
girls.
I mean, this doesn't look like training to me, Jules. That's all
Yeah.
part of the fun.
I know. So let's, with staying with that then, long-term strategy training. So Lisa, you know, we talk about uncovering the champions and looking at the diversity of who we've got in our teams. And everybody has this kind of a preference to what they like to do. So, and I know that you and I have talked about this before. So how do we start to uncover those talents? You know, what's been your sort of tips and tricks that you'd like to share on that?
I think, you know, it all starts from the interview process, you know, and then your trade test, and then you go into your training. We also do a lot of in-house training. We do workshops, and I think that's when, you know, you unravel hidden talents. And I think the treatment menu that we have created
Is a reflection of.
It's a reflection of it, yeah.
Wow.
And so going forward then, what's your plan for sort of further training? Because, you know, you and I again have talked about this idea of taking the spa out of the spa and looking at ways where we can re-skill or rework that. So do you have any sort of, again, long-term secrets you can share with us there on how you see that going forward?
I think I did mention it earlier. I would love to incorporate sound healing in a treatment. I don't know if anyone went to it yesterday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I heard
it's
about
just
that.
incredible. You
And
go into a
it's-
different place, a different place.
I think that was a local practitioner, right?
It was, yeah.
And that's really crucial, that
For sure.
wherever you are, you don't necessarily need to hire someone that's not from that place. There's people in that community with those skills, so utilize those local practitioners that are independent practitioners, you know, by showcasing them to your world and to the hospitality world.
Absolutely.
It's a great little collaboration that you can sort of help each other and support each other. Sorry, I interrupted
That's
you.
all right, no
Sorry.
worries. So I think we're coming to the close now. So do you want to talk about this idea of your inner therapist?
Yes, so I think the term discover your inner therapist really came, it was a personal experience that I had from being a therapist and, you know, self-employed, then employed, and then self-employed again, then having my own business and going through various personal things and navigating life as we all do. For me, you know, particularly when I had children, I felt very ashamed that me being a holistic health practitioner couldn't get my shit together as a mum. I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing my yoga, I'm not doing my, you know, self-care, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And it clicked. I was like, you know, there's this real high, unachievable expectation to always be on the top of your game and perfect all the time, right? But life happens, things do get in the way, and I think I wanted to debunk that theory of, if you're a practitioner or a therapist, you know, that you also should have all your stuff together. But actually for me it became a chore. It became another thing on my to-do list to go to that yoga class or make sure I allowed some time for meditation. And so it all became very jaded for me, this whole industry as a whole. So, you know, I really thought actually therapists struggle with their own self-care And you know, I do see therapists chugging back the Red Bull in between their treatments, and it's like, guys, what are you doing? Come on,
Yeah.
you know.
So how are you supporting, in that respect? How do you support your
Are you
therapist?
confiscating Red Bull from your spa? That's what I want to know.
I think what we do is we allow time between the treatments
Okay,
to
good.
go relax, recharge. I think it's so important because I remember I had our treatments were 55 minutes and we'd 5 minutes to get the guest out of the room and get your towels changed to get your next client. So I think that's really important to give them that 15 minutes between their treatments so they can go out for fresh air, and make sure that they are. We would cut up fruit for them in the morning sometimes and just do something nice throughout the day to keep them energized. And
That's good.
yeah.
And what's
So I mean,
Sorry, I was going to say, what's the feedback for that? Are you appreciative of it?
Yeah, definitely. And all of the girls, they
We
even
sometimes
do nice
bake
things.
cakes and bring them in. It's Tanisha's turn next week, so.
nice. So there is a sense of community and togetherness, I think.
Well, even the other therapists, like Rachel, her dad's a caterer, so she's constantly bringing in big trays of buns, and they do things to help each other. One of them, if someone looks like they're having a long day, they might even just leave a little bottle of Coke outside their treatment room door for them when they're coming out on their break, just little things, and they know they can come down for a rant anytime they need to either.
So maybe we need to substitute that Coke for
Something else.
It's Diet Coke.
Still is addictive. Yeah.
But so discovering you're in a therapist applies to therapists as well.
And I think that quote from Tara here is very true. Who do you want to come and collect you from the reception and take you? You want that therapist that's going to be full of life and beans and ready to be the great therapist that she is.
Someone who looks like they're having a nice day and they're enjoying it, that's what
right.
you want.
Well, on that, I think we've come to a conclusion. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here today.
Thank you,
and for
guys.
sharing your stories with your stories with us. Sorry.
Have we got any questions? It's always worrying when nobody moves.
So if you want to connect with us, you can find us. You've got the card in front of you. We are spasisters@podcast@gmail.com, or individually as Carly and Julie.
And on social media, it's @Spa Sisters Podcast. So thank you so much for listening. We hope we have given you a nugget of information and inspiration.
Thank you.
Thank you.